there, Cancer. Welcome. Thanks so much for tuning into my channel, The Fool's Journey Tarot. You are watching a general love reading for the sign of Cancer for this first week of November 2020. So Cancer, I hope you all are doing well. If you are a brand new viewer, I just want to say I do give a brief introduction before the reading starts, but if you want more information, there is more in the description box below. So I do want to remind all my viewers this is a general love reading, and that means, of course, it can apply to any kind of relationship situation or circumstance that you might be dealing with. Be flexible with the energy. You can interchange the roles within the reading. You might resonate with some of it, not all of it. So take what does resonate and leave behind the rest. I hope you enjoy the reading, but more than anything else, I hope that you get something out of it. I hope that it feels beneficial to you, whether it's confirming some feelings you have, maybe a hunch that you have. Maybe you feel like you get some advice regarding a situation or a relationship that you're dealing with. Whatever the case may be, I hope that the reading is worth your while. Okay, Cancer, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to give this first deck one more good shuffle, and then we're going to see what's in the cards for Cancer. Here we go. So we're going to start off with the Two of Cups, paired with the Six of Pentacles in reverse. The Sun, the Moon in reverse, Seven of Wands, the High Priestess in reverse, the Page of Pentacles in reverse, and then the King of Cups in reverse. So I'm going to go ahead and say the King of Cups was the main character of my last reading, my Gemini reading. And he was sitting in this spot, not this spot, but and I shuffle my decks quite a bit in between readings, so I just want to point that out. If this reading resonates for you, maybe there's something in the Gemini reading for you as well. Two of Cups was also out there, so this feels again like it's tied to a specific relationship for you, Cancer, which was the case in the Gemini reading too, but we'll see what else comes up. So this may be an extension, this may be a counterpart reading, this may be something completely different. Let's find out together, Cancer. So with the Moon in reverse, High Priestess in reverse, especially with the Sun paired with this Moon, I feel like maybe you've found something out, or maybe something's been revealed to you. Maybe you've gained some clarity on something that either has been kept from you, maybe some secrets, or maybe you've had a hunch about something or felt been suspicious of something. It feels like something's come out in the open for you, possibly. Feels like it applies to a relationship, like I said. This King of Cups in reverse can indicate somebody who is emotionally unavailable, someone who's distant, or maybe somebody who's apathetic, or somebody who is not willing to commit. This could be represent somebody who's just bored. Maybe somebody's bored within a relationship. In some way, shape, or form, this individual is emotionally disconnected. So let's get some more information out here for Cancer, see what else we get. We have the Tower, which was in the last reading too, with Two of Cups. I just have to say, these two cards were sitting right here in the Gemini reading. You watched me shuffle. I've been shuffling, and these cards are coming out again. It's interesting. Four of Wands. So whenever this happens, I just have to say, Cancer, I'm trying to, obviously, this is a reading for Cancer. I have cleared that energy from the Gemini reading. I'm focusing on this. But, I can't help but notice similarities. So I'm just going to throw that out there. But just know that. Knight of Swords in reverse. There's the Page of Pentacles. He's in the upright this time. He's over here in reverse. Six of Cups was in the last reading too. I'm just saying, Six of Cups was in reverse in the last reading, however. Emperor. The Empress. She was in the last reading. Oy. And then we have the Four of Swords. All right, well, let's see what we get here. This looks like it's going to be an interesting reading. So we have an Emperor and an Empress on the table. We have a King of Cups in reverse. Six of Cups, and Two of Cups. We're dealing with a very significant relationship. This could be an intimate connection. This could be a connection, a relationship that's lasted the test of time. This could be somebody that's come back from your past. This could be someone from your childhood. Soulmate energy. Someone who's meant to be in your life, someone who's meant to cross your path. There's some kind of change going on within this relationship. Some kind of imbalance within the relationship. It's throwing the foundation off a little bit. It's throwing things off a little bit. So this could be what I feel like, again, there's been something that's been revealed or uncovered. So maybe you found something out and it's throwing things off a bit within this connection. Shaking the foundation a little bit. If this is the same energy, and I think it probably is, this Emperor, King of Cups in reverse, again, this is somebody who would be emotionally detached or unavailable, or maybe someone who's become apathetic or unwilling to invest emotionally within a connection or relationship. If this is the case, and this is something this Empress has found out, if this is the person finding out this information, it could be, again, shaking things up a little bit. Let's get some more cards out here for Cancer and see what else we get. So we have the Page of Wands now. Three of Wands in reverse. King of Swords in reverse. Ace of Swords in reverse. Six of Swords in reverse. The Star. The Devil in reverse. And then we have the Queen of Swords in reverse. So we have a Queen and a King of Swords in reverse. Queen of Swords is clarifying this King of Cups. So this is definitely a two-person reading. We have an Emperor and an Empress, King of Swords, Queen of Swords, and then we have this King of Cups. So here's what I think is going on. This does, this does feel closely tied to the Gemini reading. It feels like a counterpart reading. I feel like this Empress has found out how this King is feeling. I think there's an emotional disconnect. And I think this Empress has found that out. I'm not sure she's found out through the King, though. I don't know if he's communicated this. If he's communicated this disconnect, emotional disconnect, then it's been in an unproductive manner. It's been in a manner where it's left some questions. Maybe, I don't know if this King is being 100% honest or revealing everything. But it's almost through that act of not being totally transparent that this Empress has figured something out or something's been revealed. I mean, you typically can't pull one over on the Empress. So, for example, if there was some withheld information or some white lies or just not being 100% honest, this Empress is going to know. Something isn't the way it used to be with these two people. There's something that isn't the way it used to be, and there's this desire or perhaps memories or thoughts about how it used to be. Can we return to how it used to be? There's this feeling of feeling defensive for the relationship. There could be children involved in this situation with the pages coming out. There's 3 pages out here, so I just need to throw that out there. Let's get some more cards on the table and see what else we get for Cancer. We have the 3 of Cups in reverse and the 10 of Swords. Page of Wands again in reverse this time. 10 of Cups. Four of Cups. King of Pentacles in reverse. Five of Swords. And then we have the 5 of Wands in reverse. Okay, so I think that this does involve a group dynamic. So this could be a family situation. It could involve children, like I said, but there's something going on within this relationship. Could be an emotional disconnect, but it feels like it could be one-sided as well. And it's bringing some significant change, disruption, possibly an ending to a home, family, group dynamic. Something's ending here, and it's affecting more than just this Emperor and Empress. Could be involving a home situation, like I said before. I think that this King, Emperor energy, this King of Swords has been reluctant to be completely transparent and honest because there is concern for the other people involved. There is a desire to make sure that the other people are protected, or other people are not negatively affected by whatever might be going on between these two people. And it feels like it could have to do with concern over, again, children or other people who are innocent within the group dynamic, other people who have no influence over the current situation, like this Emperor and Empress do. This Emperor and Empress have a significant impact with regard to decisions that are made within their connection or their relationship. I feel like there could be some animosity here, or could be verbal disagreements, could be fighting. But the communication's necessary. So right now it doesn't feel like it's necessarily very productive communication, but it's necessary. Some things need to be brought out in the open. Some things need to be put out there on the table and discussed. At this point in time, it doesn't feel like either of these people are necessarily embodying their Emperor energy, Empress energy throughout this process of clearing things up, working through this conflict. Again, they could be typically these type of people who are very much in control. This is a power couple if I ever saw one. But there's some definite conflict within this connection. And these two are not necessarily embodying the Emperor energy while working through this conflict. They're embodying this King and Queen of Swords in reverse, which means there could be, again, some reluctance to communicate. If there's communication, it may not be very positive communication or productive communication. Let's get this last round out for Cancer. Let's see what else we get. We've got the Magician, which was in the last reading too. Gemini. I'm going to remind you, I think that it might be worth your while to check out the Gemini reading. Just see what it's about. The Fool. Seven of Cups. King of Wands in reverse. Ace of Pentacles. The High Priestess in reverse again. Justice. And then we have the Nine of Swords. Okay, let me go ahead and first say, this feels like a very difficult situation. This feels like two people communicating harshly together. There is something that needs to be brought out in the open. I think it is either in the process of that happening or it's already happened. And it has to do with this emotional disconnect that this Emperor, King of Cups, is feeling. There's an emotional disconnect here. It's causing a lot of anxiety and internal conflict as well as external conflict between this Queen and this King, or Emperor and Empress. All of the court cards and the Emperor Empress are two people. So, and I want to remind you, regardless of your own gender, you can embody either one of these energies. If you're resonating with the reading, you'll know who you are. Okay, so there's an emotional disconnect coming from this King of Cups. It's causing an upheaval within a group dynamic. I think both parties know exactly what needs to happen, and unfortunately, doing the right thing is what's causing the anxiety, because I do feel like there's a lot at stake here. I don't think any action has taken place yet. In other words, I don't think anybody's followed through with any plans or any decisions. I think things are still kind of up in the air, because I think there's still some communication that needs to be had. Some productive communication. And there's also a question here, and this may be true for some of you, it's going to be true for some of you, not all, that there is an opportunity to make this work, to work things out, to get things going again, to make things right within this relationship. I think the problem is there's certain things within this connection that have been ignored for a little bit too long. There's certain things that have been ignored for a little bit too long, and it's important to reflect on and return to what needs to be addressed, what needs to be looked at in order to start again or start fresh or revitalize the relationship, so that potential is still there. The strongest energy is this energy of this impending ending. And I think that's what's so difficult. And it could be that one party sees it one way and another party sees it another way. There's a potential for a new beginning if we look at what we need to address within this connection relationship and start again. Hold on to what we've built together. Hold on to what we've established together. Keep things moving forward. Or does this come to a harsh and difficult ending? Because the Ten of Swords is certainly not an easy ending. And I don't think both parties are seeing this the same way. Again, I think there's some questions and some clarity that needs to be had. And I think that it feels like there's a lot going on here. It feels like there's a lot being revealed or a lot being discussed. Maybe things that haven't been out in the open. Maybe things that are being uncovered. And due to the fact that it feels like there's a lot to talk about or a lot to be revealed, when something small comes out, you need to digest it. You need to talk about it. You need to come to terms with it. You can't just dump it all out on the table, right? A smorgasbord of problems and conflict. One piece at a time is probably best when you're dealing with things that are as heavy as this feels. So this feels like it's kind of a slow process right now, and that's because there's some hesitation in what's being revealed and what's being talked about. And then ultimately what actions will be taken as a result of what's decided or what's determined to be the best move forward. There's this indication on the table that this king is not necessarily embracing his responsibilities or embracing his position within the connection or the family dynamic, that he's not being the protector and the provider as an emperor would be. There is some indication that could be one of the issues that's been ignored, is this king's position within the family, or maybe his contribution within the connection itself, or the group dynamic, or both. But again, I think it has a lot to do with the emotional disconnect that this king has overall. And the king is the one who's dealing with the anxiety and the internal conflict. The king's the one over here with the 9 of Swords and the 5 of Wands in reverse. And I think that he's dealing with this kind of anxiety and internal conflict because of the things that this Empress Queen is saying, or what she's not saying. It's however she's communicating to this king is bringing a certain level of anxiety and internal conflict for this King of Cups. And it has to do with the idea of quitting or leaving this behind or ending things and walking away. How do you end something and walk away if it's a 6 of Cups energy? How do you end something and walk away from something that you've created, you've created this solid foundation, a home, a family, building your legacy together. how does that just come to an abrupt end without there being severe repercussions and other people who are affected and, you know, that kind of thing. So, Cancer, we'll get a Dreams of Gaia tarot card for you. I'm taking this card because it actually came out of the ticket and said they're balancing. I'm going to take that one. King of Air came out. So the King of Swords, he came out in the upright. So I'm going to say it right now. I do believe that this King of Air is probably going to resonate for you as this Emperor, King of Swords, King of Pentacles. The masculine energy feels like the same person to me. This feels like the person who is, for whatever reason, maybe coming to terms with things a little bit more severely than this Empress person. It feels like there's things coming out in the open about this particular individual. And again, it may not just be the fact that, you know, hey, I've lost a certain emotional connection with you and we need to talk about that. It could be more than just this. I feel like there's other things coming out in the open. So the King of Swords is, and the cards in this particular deck, the Kings and Queens, coincide pretty, in a pretty similar manner to your traditional Rider-Waite deck. But I will read this out of the book. The King of Air, I'm not going to explain it because it's all going to be in here. And it's about a page, if I'm recalling. I pulled him just yesterday for another reading. I think it was yesterday. I lose track of time. There it is. About a page and a half. So I think that this is going to indicate the type of energy that this Emperor probably should embrace when communicating with this Empress, because it's going to be a type of energy where you leave behind the emotional piece of it and face things head on with a clear head over heart decisions. Okay, Cancer, here we go. The King of Air is a just and fair leader with a stern and commanding presence. He can be imposing and somewhat intimidating due to his formal manner, but his stern countenance is tempered by a compassion born of his spiritual belief. He is an educated man with vast knowledge. He is also a wise man who has learned from every life experience. When he speaks, everybody listens. He is also a disciplined man who can at times be uncompromising and rigid, and he has a very fixed belief system. He cannot be corrupted or easily swayed. He believes rules are made to be followed and should not be broken. The laws of the land were made to keep people safe, and he believes those who break the law should understand the consequences for their actions. Yes, he can choose to show compassion in passing his judgment. However, he will not compound the wrong by failing to bring a wrongdoer to account. His judgment is fair but final and is delivered in accordance to the law and without emotional impediment. When the King of Air appears in your reading, it may represent a need to seek legal counsel or financial advice. Is there a point of law or a money matter that you need to have clarified by someone who is not emotionally invested in achieving a particular outcome? If not a matter of law or a financial matter, it may be something to do with rules and regulations that has you concerned. Some sort of infringement on your personal rights. Seek out someone with expertise in the area of concern. You need to know where you stand. The King of Air is a no-nonsense person. He is direct and to the point, but uninterested in debate or argument for argument's sake. You may find yourself in a position where you need to embody the same behavior. Don't be drawn into an argument at this time if all you are going to do is repeat yourself. Present your case, be direct and to the point, and then don't be drawn into further debate. If you have said all that needs to be said at this point, any further form of response is a waste of time and energy. If you find yourself dealing with somebody who embodies the nature of the King of Air, be advised that they are not usually somebody who will change their mind, nor are they somebody who is going to change their way with ease. Change is possible, but on their own terms and at their own pace. If you attempt to push a King of Air type to change their mind, opinion, or behavior, you are courting conflict. If you are romantically involved with one, you might just have to accept them for who they are, because they are always going to be forceful and a little dogmatic. As a parent, he is always going to be a strict and rule-oriented father. He will demand respect and that those who live under his roof follow his rules. If you find yourself At loggerheads, take a moment to ask yourself if it might be you who needs to look at their actions. Are you pushing boundaries because those boundaries need to be shifted? Or are you pushing them just because they are there? There you go, Cancer. I do believe that this king at this point in time, in dealing with the situation and communicating with this Empress, is unable to embody that emotional piece where you approach this from an emotional standpoint, consider everybody's feelings, that sort of thing, because he can't embody this kind of energy, an emotional energy. He needs to come at it from a head over heart perspective and remain compassionate, but then also be honest. And again, transparency is a big deal, I think, in this situation. I think that there can be, at the very least, a truce between these two. If not, the ability to rebuild or make this work in some way, shape, or form, if there is an ending that needs to happen between these two energies, then it can be done in a respectful manner, considering you're dealing with an Empress and an Emperor, both of which came out in the upright position. This ending can be an ending that doesn't cause hurt and pain to others, at least to the point that it could if you're coming at it from this perspective, because this isn't going to get anybody anywhere approaching the situation this way, right? Approach it this way and resolve the problem. Sure, it's painful, but you know what? You can also gain something out of the things that are painful in your life. You learn lessons. You grow spiritually. So it's not all negative. It's not all bad when you go through these kind of things. So before I start to ramble on, which I've been prone to do lately, Cancer, I'm going to leave this here. I hope that the reading was helpful. I hope that it resonated. I hope it gave you something to think about. I really appreciate you joining me and watching. If it did resonate, please give me a like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment if you feel like sharing your story. I always appreciate that. Thanks so much, Cancer, and I'll see you next time. Bye.